Hey guys, just let me know if you can hear okay. We'll be going live on TikTok in 8 minutes as well. So let's see how that pans out today. Um, okay, so I am in a trade short on gold. Um, so I took the trade that I highlighted that got stopped out. Then this little beauty. Wick down, so I placed the order above the high of this one and got stopped out on that one. I mean, literally, you can't write it at the minute what's happened today. Um, but then literally, I took as it reversed, I took a momentum entry on here. So I've literally had the trade that I thought this one when it pushed up and then broke the lows. As I was highlighting, I was expecting the market to continue back down into the higher time frame trend. Hey Fenton, or Sean, sorry, Sean Fenton, how are you? Uh, Global market traders, how are we doing? Tanzania, right? Am I right in thinking that? Global market. So yeah, I've had two losses back to back, and then took a momentum entry on this one. So yeah, I've secured 40 pips on this, and it's now sitting 20 odd pips up. Um, I am expecting this market to continue to move lower based on the analysis, which, look, so the way I'm looking at this right now is where we had the impulsive move lower here. I'm looking at this as a corrective move um, on the basis that we're about to start another impulsive move lower, maybe to test down in here just under the 3300 area. If we look at it on the weekly, weekly is suggesting, obviously we've still got another day left, so a lot can happen. But as I see this, we had an uprange bearish candle last week. So if we were going to continue the market move higher, then I would expect the weekly high to be broken this week. It hasn't happened. What's happened is we've pushed up and then we've broken the low. So that would suggest from the higher time frame that we are in a corrective period on the weekly. So it doesn't mean obviously that we can just trade short. The market will go obviously up, it will go down. It's about how we navigate through that process. So from the highest time frame that I'm looking at, which is the weekly, I would suggest or highlight that this market is probably going to hit a correction about now. If we look at it on the monthly, we've got what today, tomorrow, and Monday left. Um, Again, something similar is kind of materializing here on the monthly. We look at this, we've had obviously huge moves over the last few months. Then May, we had a big move down, big move higher, closed pretty much on the open. This month started, all we've done is go up, and as the months progressed, we've started to come down lower, lower, lower. Now, what would be a big signal is if this month actually closes bearish. So we'll see how it closes. But in order for that to happen, we've got to get down to the price point I was referring to, just below 3,300. So as it stands right now, looking at the hourly, uh, rejected higher time frame resistance. We saw the market sell off. We had a wick up. We sold the low, then got stopped out. Um, Gold is a buy for you. Okay, fantastic. Um, right now, I wouldn't do anything just yet. We've had 40 pips out of it, and we're uh, sitting at slightly in front of break even for the remaining part of the position. So we secured at 20 and 40, and now we'll see what happens. On the 30, we can see prices broken through support. So short-term support. In fact, let me just get rid of this. All right, let's have a look at the time. Can we go live on TikTok yet? No. Okay, so price broke through support on the 30. So the question is this going to be a false break or is it going to be a move lower. Now, if it's going to be a move lower, we'll take out the low of this candle and we'll probably move down. So sells, yeah, I mean, look, if you are in line with the sells or in line with the buys, we've got to wait for this candle to close no matter what. If you want to go with the sells, then you could put a sell order underneath the low of this candle, as this is potentially moving higher to grab liquidity before it moves lower. Now, obviously, we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know what is going to happen. But sells underneath here right now would make sense, at least for the next 20 minutes or so. Oh, I know what I haven't done. Bear with me a second. We should have unemployment data coming out and final GDP. Okay, so let's just put this on the chart. I'm missing this right now. Copy. Uh, okay, so major news, USD, we got at 1330, 1330, and we've got unemployment claims. Okay, so we're going to see some moving around, whatever it may be. Now, we have to wait for this candle to close before I will do anything. Would I look at 15-minute buy? You've got clear candle space. If this candle closes bullish, yeah, yeah. Let's have a look. Price, we have reduced. Just depends how much space we get here. 60 pips. Yeah. What do we have underneath here? 26. So let's just wait 3 minutes for this candle to close. If it closes bullish and like that, then we can look for a short-term buy. Uh, sorry, 1 second, guys. What am I doing? Let me just do this. Right. See if I just need to. It's 1:13, so why can I not? You can go live. What? You can go live and join a live as a guest. What does that mean? Bear with me a second, guys. I just want to see if I can start. Uh, live event. It's time to go live. It's time to go live. I want to. Okay, so let's go live. 1 second, guys. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe I have to turn it off and go back in again. Bear with me a second, guys. Sorry about this. I'm not doing anything in terms of a trade just yet either, so it doesn't matter. We'll see if this. Uh, the 15-minute we can see is definitely. What's going on? There we go. Okay, so 15-minute looks like we're going to close bullish. We've got 4 seconds left, so uh, I mean, okay, there we go. We can go live. All right, get ready for the interesting questions now, guys. Uh, okay, so let's go back to this chart. So basically, if we've got kind of a little bit of conflicting information, based on the fact that the 15-minute, as you can see, we have support being formed, buyers come in, creating an uprange candle. 30-minute, um, Peanut, Paddy Cole, Mohammed, how we doing? Hi guys, yes, I'm back. I know I couldn't do a couple, missed a couple of days, but yeah, we're back now, guys. Apologies for not being on stream. So we're just looking at gold. There is news coming out in 14 minutes. So things that we can consider right now. We do have, as I was just saying to everyone on YouTube, we've got conflicting sort of price action. Um, in terms of if we look at the 15-minute, the 15-minute we can see strong sell-off. Uh, Buyers have come in at 33.32, call it 33.33, and we've got an uprange candle, meaning it has a higher high and a higher low than the previous candle. So now what we want to establish is, can we trade above this because we've got clean range of around, what's that, 60 pips. So plenty of clean range. So on that basis, we can look at going long. In theory, hi guys, Tudor, Ron, Ronin, how we doing? So yeah, looking at going long potentially above here, but we do have news in 13 minutes. If we look at the 30-minute, which is what I would prefer because it's a higher time frame in this instance, where you've got the 15 minutes setting up as a potential buy, the 30-minute is also giving the conflicting evidence. So 30-minute, what we see is price has broken below this recent support here and closed below it. So if I was looking for a buy, then the way I would look at this is I'd want to see the 30-minute close above this level. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because if the 30-minute closes above this support, then this is going to show you a false break. So then what we could look at is the next candle. So rather than just buy on the 15, I would wait for this one to close in 12 minutes. Yes, the news will be out and we're going to see volatility in the market. But I'd wait for the 30-minute to close, price to wick down, then buy the high. If this candle right now doesn't close above, in theory, you could look for shorts underneath here because the short underneath here would sort of align with what I'm seeing on the higher time frame. The only downside you've got with shorts underneath here right now is you've got the wick here to the left, then you've got another structure support here. So it's about identifying the best place to trade. So if we went back to the best places to trade, I would look at that and say, right, the best place to trade here would be if we do close above here, we've got about 60 pips to the upside, which that's going to be better than trading short here with maybe 15 to 20 pips. Yeah, but you have to remember DXY is, or for those of you that don't know, just been asked to check the Dixie or the dollar index, DXY, however you want to call it, in relation to uh, gold. Now, just remember, gold is a safe haven, and the DX or dollar index or the Dixie, whatever you want to call it, is a very old way of measuring strength or weakness in the US dollar because it's probably the worst way you can measure strength in the US dollar, right? And the reason I say that, I'm going to show you facts behind the dollar index. So let me just pull up a screen here. Okay, so dollar index composition. So here, look at this. What does the uh, dollar index consist of? Right. So here you go. The dollar index consists of the euro, the Japanese yen, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, the Swedish krona, and the Swiss franc. Now, if you look at the percentages, the euro is about 51% of it. The Japanese yen, I think, is around 13. Pound is around 11. CAD is around 7, and these are about 3%. So where is it? Let's have a look. So in theory, if you were to just where is it? Here you go. So look, the euro is the largest component of the dollar index, making up 57%. That weighs on the rest of the currencies. Japanese yen is 13%, pound is 11%, CAD is 9%, Swedish krona is 4%, and the Swiss franc is 3%. So in theory, you're basically just looking at how is the euro comparable to the the dollar index. So the best way of looking at strength in the dollar index is looking at it against every single market. Okay. And the easiest way to do that is just pull up a list of, here you go, dollar index. And then you got cable. So cable, pound is up, euro is up, Aussie is up, Kiwi is up, CAD is up, Swissy is up, and the yen is up, gold is up. So dollar is down against everything today. Everything. Okay, so that's the easiest way to look at strength in the dollar. Don't look at it against the dollar index. Dollar index is very, very old school. Okay, so gold is the true dollar index. Again, that's not something I can agree with, um, because gold is a safety net. It's a safe haven. So gold will move differently to the dollar. Um, Sometimes they're aligned when there's war or uncertainty. Obviously, the way that the dollar is used now in terms of safe havens is not so much on the basis that it's been downgraded by Moody's last month. Um, so now it's been downgraded against all ratings companies. Uh, Yes, if we'd have bought above the high, yes, we'd be in and we'd be taking profit. But look, again, this is something I will reiterate it. The way that yeah, it's broken the highs, but for me, obviously, I want to wait till the news is out. We're too close to the news right now. I'm sure I wrote the news on this chart somewhere. All right, there we go. Now, um, how many of you are? I've seen a few familiar names in here. Hi, Peanut. Hi, who's just said hi? Iona, Adrian, how you doing? Welcome back. Uh, yeah, got who did I see? KT Trades, how you doing? The business, Basilum, Said, you well? Um, hey Billy, Feng Chen. So yeah, this is why I'm not taking this trade right now. We've got a little bit of conflicting information, so I would sit tight. Um, Only would have been 15 pips. Yeah. Do I only trade technicals? Gurpreet, yeah, pretty much. Look, I have an understanding of fundamentals, but realistically, fundamentals don't impact my decisions because my trades don't last long enough. Um, if an announcement comes out, it's obviously going to take me to my price or my stop loss a lot quicker if I'm in a trade. So I don't want to just enter in and around news times. Hi, could you please explain how news above below expectations affects gold today? So look, um, when you're looking at news or scheduled news releases, the way the market will move doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily going to move the way that you would think, right? Okay, so let's say final GDP quarter on quarter. Let's say it comes in better than forecast. That should be strength for dollar, and that should, in theory, push gold down. Now, the the downside is we don't know how people are positioned in the market. Let's say. the closest thing we have to knowing people's positions in the market is the futures market. Everything else is just hearsay from the broker. The broker can give you how their clients are positioned in the market, um, but the futures market is the true way, okay? And it's the closest thing. It's like if you were buying a stock and a share. Um, if you're buying shares, you can see how many shares were traded that day, bought and sold, because it's public knowledge. It's a public company. They have to, that information is shared with you. Whereas trading is OTC, it's over the counter. It's done in so many different places. You can trade with a broker. You can trade with. You can go and get currency from the supermarket, from the post office. You can go and get currency anywhere. So it is OTC, meaning that you're never going to see the true volume. Um, so on that basis, right now, I would be very, very cautious when it comes to looking at volume. Um, just wait, okay? And when you're looking at the true insight into how people are positioned in the market, then you can get an insight into, and this is where you would use something like commitment of traders. So commitment of traders is superb for looking at longer term positions because it's futures markets. You can see how commercials are positioned, you can see how non-commercials are positioned, and you can see how non-reportables or are positioned. And non-reportables, these are always pretty much wrong. So if they're positioned heavily long in the market, then expect the market to be short. That's like a general consensus. Or non-commercials are trend followers. So if the market is trending to the upside, you would expect to see non-commercials with a heavier percentage to long contracts and a smaller percentage to short contracts. When the market is going up, you would expect commercials to have a much heavier percentage in short contracts, meaning selling the market, than they would long contracts. And the reason for that is commercials want to sell rallies because they're getting more profit for the gold that they produce. Okay. And non-commercials, they're speculators. They want to make a return in the market. So they're buying more and more as it's going up because they're trying to trade the trend. Right, we've got about 2 minutes for the news to come out. Peanut, thank you, Matt. Matt travels living a life. Nice. Wouldn't mind. Watch my videos, guys. Sad. Uh, okay, I'm not sure. Okay. Um, Okay, so there's going to be no trade for me at the minute on gold. I'm going to wait for the news to come out and see what happens. One new message. You are a breakout trader. Um, I trade breakouts, I trade false breakouts, I trade continuations. So if you, and I'll trade ranges. So I'll trade anything. So look, these are my setups. So they're my 5 setups, and I have rules for each. Dimitri, I just trade gold and NASDAQ and DAX, those three markets. Predominantly gold and DAX in the morning and gold and NASDAQ in the afternoon. Gold is in no man's land at the moment. I see now. You see no trade at all, Kieran. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm sitting on my hands at the minute. I'm not really seeing too much. If I was to look for shorts, I'm gonna look for shorts underneath here. Unless we come up here and we spike through, I'd look for a false break at around 33.48. So let's just mark this on. This is what I'm going to look for. Uh, hey, Mark, you think there's going to be new highs this quarter? Do you know what, mate? I have no idea. I would, based on the way the market's been moving, you might anticipate it. But geopolitical tensions, again, you might anticipate it. But the best thing is just trade what you see. Sells below 33.27. Let's put that in. We're going to look for now. Do you know what? 33.49. There's 50 points up here because we've wicked down on the news. Let's have a look. 40 points to those highs. Um, if we break this high, I'm going to be a buyer. So look, I'm just going to, if we break this high, yeah. So if we break these highs here, I'm going to buy and I'll exit, full exit at 33.48 if we break this high. If we close below 33.27.8, I'll look for sells. Hey Miguel, how we doing, guys? Yeah, thanks for joining. Mohammed, how we doing? Thanks for the follow. So look, short term. Now this is what I would call a momentum entry by breaking these highs. So we haven't closed above resistance, but if we break these wicks here, I'm looking for the market. I'm on the trade of gold in a sell. Okay, good luck, buddy. Hope it pans out for you. Fenton, please could you explain your setups again? Yeah, sure. Okay, so uh, let's just say if I'm looking for a breakout here, do you wait for confirmation? Yeah, not in this one. In this one, I would be happy to buy above here just because of the time of day. We've got 1:30 COMEX commodity exchange has just opened. We've just seen the market come out. News has come out. I don't know what the news is. Let me just have a quick look. Uh, so look, there you go. GDP is minus zero point 0.5. They were forecasting minus zero point 0.2. So GDP has come in worse than forecast, and unemployment has come in better than forecast. So you've got mixed data. Billy, this is a 30-minute time frame. Okay, so this is the 30-minute time frame. Remember, guys, what I'm looking at here is purely for educational basis. This is me trading, so I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm just showing you what I do, how to be consistent, and how to apply a simple set of rules in order to become consistent. So if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to be a good chef, you want to use the best ingredients, and let's say you're making a particular dish, you want to use the same ingredients, the same quantities, and just refine the methodology. And the only way you can tell if you're being consistent or to get results and improve them is if you are consistent with your ingredients. The things that you can change is how you put it together, okay? So if you want consistency, guys, you need to be doing the same thing every day. So repeat the process, whether like a machine. If you're going to be doing breakouts, then make sure you have a set of rules. That means when you're trading a breakout, all the breakouts are the same, or you have like a difference for each breakout. So let's say we've had a candle close below. So once we've closed below, the next candle I need to see it do this. It needs to go up. As it goes up, this is my cue to place my order. Once that happens, then I'm doing this. Placing a sell stop underneath the low of this candle and a stop loss above the high. Then once my sell stop is in, if this candle has wicked up, and then if it keeps going up, guess what? I don't get triggered, so it makes no difference to me. But then if it reverses and breaks its own low, then breaks this candle's low, I'm in the trade. Okay, so that would be my typical breakout setup. So if you have a look, here you go, text, we'll go to breakout short, and there's text, go to breakout short, and it's doing this again. There we go. So that would be the rules. So that's exactly what I do. Very, very simple. And why do I keep it simple? I keep it simple because if it's simple, it's actionable. And if it's actionable, then you're going to follow what we call a very simple process, which is seeing is believing. And if you believe, you're going to take action. If you imagine those three things, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Seeing is believing, believing, you will take action. Okay? That's simple. Yeah. So there's the rules. If you can't see it, let me know. Can you see the rules? And the principle behind this little setup, by waiting for it to go up first, is a very, very simple principle. Is that, sorry, I've got an itchy nose, guys. So if you want to think about this, if you want to fire a bow and arrow, you have to pull the bow back. You have to pull it back. And when you pull it back, what happens when you let go of the bow? What happens? The arrow fires forward, right? So when it fires forward, this is my principle with trading. I want buyers, in theory, to try and push price up, fail, it attracts more sellers, and then boom, it drops. So it's the same principle as firing a gun. You cock the gun, the hammer's back, you pull the trigger, boom, the hammer goes down, fires the bullet forward. You had the old cars when you were a kid, you pull it back, you let go, the car shoots off forward. So this is what I'm looking at when it comes to trading, that same principle. How long have I been trading? Since 2009. Since 2009. Long time. One-to-one coaching. Yeah, I do one-to-one coaching. But that's only for members, guys. That is only for members. Uh, Live streams, this is literally to give out valuable information out there so you can see exactly what I do, why I do it. And then if you want to be part of a community, you can do. But if you don't, you just want to come to the freebies, then you have that access as well. Um, so that would be the breakout. And I always say, listen, if you want to be good at something, then just focus on doing one thing first. As Bruce Lee said, he feared the man who practiced one punch 10,000 times, not the man who did 10,000 punches once. Is this my full-time job? Yep, trade and train. As you can see, this is all I do. I used to do a lot of the training. Unfortunately, the training has hit a brick wall. I used to do men's physique, hence it was called Trade and Train. Um, but I quit or I stopped when I was 40. Just after my 40th birthday was my last competition. Um, and yeah, 6 years down the line, here I am, still trading, but the training, I just I run quite a bit. I'll run 2 or 3 times a week, but I just don't have the looking good for 46. My Julies, thank you very much. Yeah, but obviously the grey is love. Do you do fitness programs for your members as well? I used to do fitness programs for my members. Yeah, but not. I would say maybe now because I'm I have the knowledge, but maybe now because I'm not in the good shape that it's maybe not as required by my members. When I was diced and ripped, they were more interested. Um, so yeah, thanks for the question. So yeah, listen, we're just gonna wait and see what happens. Uh, I'm not overly keen. Okay, so look, this chart, what you seeing on the NASDAQ, what you seeing on the, how does trading affects your life? If you come back in time, do you start this job again? Um, Great question. If I could go back in time, the one thing I would have done would have started trading a lot earlier. So I didn't start until I was what, 2009, 30. I was exactly 30. 89, 99, 2000. Yeah, I was 30. So yeah, I started trading when I was 30. Uh, yeah, I mean, one of my members, he's 14 now, started when he was 12. I wish I'd started at that age. Think about the people right now um, that have joined, got into crypto at a young age. They understand it. I'm a little bit of a, let's say, dinosaur when it comes to technology and things like that. So when one of my friends back in 2015, we went for breakfast one morning, and he said to me, I mean, he's a good few years younger than me. He said to me, "Buy some crypto, buy some Bitcoin." I was like, I don't understand it. And everyone at the time was just talking about Silk Road, and it's just used for it's used by criminals in the underworld, and I was like, oh man, I don't understand this. Um, and then next thing you know, if I'd have bought it then, it was like $300. Here it is, what is it, 100 and something thousand dollars now. So yeah, that would be the thing that if I could go back in time, I would definitely start trading a lot younger. I'm 22, losing some hope. Fungi Chen, 22, perfect. There you go. I wish I'd started at that age. How do you use false breakout to enter? Good question. Okay, so look, uh, let's go back to gold. So all my entries are the same, right? All my entries. Buds, what broker do I use? So look, what I'm gonna do is, where is it? If you go over to Trading View, what's it called? YouTube. If you go over to my YouTube, you'll see some links in my uh, channel there. But you can also, I'll just share a link with you now. Is the videos that people doing by supercars by doing trading. How do you think about Listen, I'm very, very different to those people. Um, so look, here's a link, guys. You can use this link um, to see my free stuff. Free stuff. You can see my recommended uh, funded account in there that I know members have been paid out by them, so that's why I recommend it. Um, you and yeah, use them as well for getting accounts. Right, what was the other question did I miss? So the videos that people doing buy supercars. Yeah, look, they are buying supercars or renting supercars. Um, Listen, you have to remember that a lot of these people might make more money from something else, not just the trading, and use the trading as a way to, I don't know. I have to be very careful now what I say because I'm worried about what happened. I said something the other day, and I think that's what got me banned for a few days. So I can't really give you my honest opinion on that. Um, so just just be wary. Just be wary about if you see telephone numbers on trading accounts, and when I see telephone numbers, I mean like huge, huge numbers, and then they're saying, "Oh, come and join XYZ. There's 20 spots left. All you have to do is deposit here and whatever." Just be wary. Don't follow signals. Yeah, my Julie's. I I'm actually not sure because I don't know, but I've got a feeling it was something along the lines of what you were asking me about with the flash cars and around those people and what was happening in my. Yes, Julie, I'm not saying that word, but that's what I'm referring to. I don't think TT likes sending people adding links and comments. I don't think TikTok likes sending. Okay, all right, thanks, sweetie pie. Uh, do I use leverage? Okay, damn it. Let me delete that. How do I delete that? Uh, right. Uh, so you can see the link. in, ah, damn it, I can't even delete the, no, I can't even delete the message now. Um, yeah, so guys, uh, if you want, this is the way I'll do it. So guys, if you want to see anything, you can go to my Stan store. Link is in the bio, by the way. So the link is in the bio, but that's what it is. It's the Stan store. So you can see all my free things there. But yeah, now I'm being very careful about what I do say, because I am actually just trying to give education and show you what I do on a daily basis, um, and create value for you guys. Because I appreciate this is probably some of you might have just woken up before you go to work. Some of you might be during your lunch hour. Some of you might be after work, depending where you're located in the world. So I really want to give value to you on a daily basis or as many times as I can. So throughout the week. So I don't want to get locked off for saying something that I'm not meant to or doing something. So like I said, I'm a dinosaur with this technology stuff. So I'm not quite sure what I can and can't do. Mr. Mark, what is the link is in my bio. It's just basically my store. So on there, you'll see a link for YouTube. You'll see a link for my free Telegram channel. You'll see a link for my trading course, which is taking place this weekend in London. There's still some spaces available for anyone that wants to go. You have a link for my monthly membership, that kind of thing. So you'll see it's got the free things and it's got the paid for services as well. Um, so yeah, look, there's nothing setting up for me just now. Um, but let's come back to what I was saying here on. Um, in fact, sorry, I know what I was doing. Fenton, Sean, you were asking about a false break. Let me just draw it for you so you can understand what my false break setup would be. First thing I'll do is I'll bring in the rules so you can see the rules behind it. Let's do false break short so you can. So first thing is, if we look at the rules, let me make it a bit bigger for you. See, this is what happens as well when you get to 40 plus. You start doing something and then you forget what you're doing. So that uh, um, And Narinda Standstill is the link is in my bio. Okay, it's just is where you can see my free and paid for services. So look, let me show you what a false break would look like. So there's the rules. First thing we're going to do is we have to close above resistance. So let's say here's our bullish candle. It's closed above resistance. Hold on a second. Let me just do that. So this one will be our bullish candle. I'm just going to change the color of it so you understand that it's bullish, meaning that buyers were in control. So we've closed above resistance. Okay. Now, once we've closed above resistance, we're effectively looking for a breakout. Okay. So we're looking for a breakout. So before I place my buy order, which would be here, I need to see the next candle start to move lower. So as it starts to move lower from here, then I would place my buy order, okay? So I'd place my buy order for a breakout. Then what happens is instead of it going reversing and going back in the direction of the trend, it actually closes back below the resistance level. So it looks like this now. Now, as that happens, I then think, right, okay, we've had the market close above, now it's closed below. So this is my false break setup. So the next thing I wait for is the market to move back up, like the bow and arrow, we're pulling it back. We then place our sell stop underneath the low of the candle here, and then we're hoping that the market will then rotate and do this and trigger. Does that make sense? So each each process for entering. Um, so I only enter on stop orders. Yeah, only on stop orders. So strategy, what strategy do I use? So it's all price action strategies, guys. Where my setups are false break, breakout, BPC, flip, and range trade. So that's what I look at. That's how I'll, whenever I'm here on live stream, you'll see me place orders. You'll see me. Have you always traded this strategy since 2020? I used to be an end of day swing trader, but unfortunately, um, the the current president of the US, when he came to power for the first time, uh, let's say all the systems I used just started to not give us returns anymore, and it just used to drive me insane. So I stopped trading swing style and moved to day trading. Uh, what's the difference with a stop order and a sell limit? Okay, so great question. A stop order means you are buying or selling, um, at a better price. So let me show you. So let's say if I was a sell stop would be underneath the current price. So a sell stop would be here. If I wanted to do a sell limit based on the current price, a sell limit would be up here because it means that price has to move higher in order to trigger your order. A stop order means price has to move lower to trigger your sell order and reverse for buys. So this would be a buy stop up here because it's above price, and a buy limit would be down here because it's below current price. Um, the Lambos and our hourly rentals by Jokers. Commander in Chief Fenton, very similar to a short breakout. Okay, so a false breakout, short, yeah, is very similar. The only difference is a short breakout is the market's been moving lower, whereas a false breakout short just means price has moved higher, failed to break through resistance, and then it comes back down. So remember, all the way that I enter the market is the same on everything. In the example you just went through, was the false break a false? Yeah, so it was a false bullish break. The first break was to the upside, so in theory you'd have been looking for a breakout long, but then it failed, so we look for a breakout short, false breakout, false break short. Okay, so look, we are potentially setting up for sells on gold. If we close below here, um, and the next candle pushes up, we're going to sell below the low. Sweet. Alright. Right, I'm just getting my chart ready. 332638. So 3326. Oh, we've got 6 minutes, so we'll wait to see how this candle closes. You're going to take this trade if it breaks. Yeah, I'm going to take this trade if it closes below. So it needs to close below, then it needs to wick up, and then I'll sell the lows. Pleasure, Fenton. Uh, Where do you place your stop roughly? So this one's going to be a little bit different on the basis that the market has literally just dropped from all the way up here. So I'm going to have to put it somewhere just above the resistance level initially. And then as soon as the candle triggers it, I'll put it above the high of the candle that triggers. So when this closes in 5 minutes, we're going to wait for the next candle to push up. As it pushes up, we'll place a sell stop here, put a stop loss somewhere up here, and then if it does rotate and then trigger, we'll move it above the high of the current candle. I'm looking long scalp from fib and VWAP. I don't use fibs and VWAP. I just look at the market, so I can't answer on that. I did used to use fibs, like I said, when I was swing trading, but very much a different trader to that now. We can sell 3330 to 332 in pullback. Listen, just remember, guys, you can sell anywhere you want, but just do it with consistency. Do it with a set of rules. Make sure the way that you apply yourself, you're going to do it consistently on a daily basis. Or if you can't do it on a daily basis, the times that you approach the markets, you want to be doing the same things every day. If you're doing something different, you're going to get confused. Hi, Zach. There's no setup yet. I need to see this candle close below. If it closes below the next candle, I need to see it push higher, and then I'll sell the low, and that'll be a breakout short. Um, but we have to see what happens first. Just need to wait. Why below 27? Because that was the last support area. I mean, look, to be fair, it's do you start by marking a resistance and support line and then wait for price to break one of them? Um, I just wait for price to get there, and then it'll either be a range trade, it would be a breakout. So, yeah, effectively, I'm looking for resistance and support areas with clean traffic. So if we look below here, we've got plenty of clean traffic, big candles to trade down into, which probably why we're seeing this market move quite nicely. Now, if you look Uh, so did that make sense? So if you look, that's where price came in, then support was formed, and then price rallied. So I'm waiting for price to break through that support area, which it's now done. Any other questions? No. Uh, all right, so let's wait 1 minute. Sorry, guys, just waiting for this candle to close. Uh, don't like that. Hmm. Unfortunately, this is probably going to go without us, but we'll see. 1 minute. Once the candle closed below, I'm waiting for a pullback at the same price to go short. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a couple of things that's going to happen, right? So this is where if it just goes without me, then I'm not in the trade. If uh, if price can then give you, so if we get a pullback now, I'll look to place a sell. Oh, it's just gone. Nah. So unfortunately, there's okay. So now things that I'd wait for. So look, this can go now. This can go. I'm not trading this now because the next candles are already broken the lows. So it's coming. Yeah, maybe. So look, this is the setup that I will look for now. I'm going to look for a short BPC. So BPC is uh, okay. So BPC. One second, guy. All right, one second. Uh, okay, so BPC. What am I going to look for? I'm going to look for what we call uprange candles. Do you know what an uprange candle is, guys? If you, how do I define my support? I'll come to that in a minute. So an uprange candle. Um, so there is only four different candles. If anyone tells you there's more than four different candles, they're just giving fancy names to this to the way a candle looks. Mental, this came up on my FYP and I just bought in. You think I should rise? I don't know what that is. Sorry. So there's only four types of candles. Nothing different. Okay, four types of candles. So if you imagine the first candle, it doesn't matter whether it's bullish or bearish, right? Let's forget that. So the first one I'm going to say is an uprange candle. So it would look something like this. Just means that it has a higher high and a higher low in relation to the first candle. So if we look at this, the next candle has created a new high and it has a higher low. So this is what I call an uprange candle. The next candle is what I call a downrange candle. So it would look like this. And yes, as opposites to the first one, yes, gold is still just moving lower, and unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast, guys. Don't worry about it. It will go without us. Um, is this? It means it has a lower high and a lower low than the previous candle. So the first one is an up range. That's this one. The next one is a down range. Then we have this. Some of you will know it as an outside candle. Some of you will know it as an engulfing candle. It means it has a higher high and a lower low than the previous candle. Then the next one is very simple, an inside. So it's the opposite to an outside. It means it has a lower high and a higher low than the previous one. There can't be anything different to those four candles. There's nothing different. So it's either an up range, a down range, an outside, or an inside. So once you know that, and then the only variance is how the candle closes. So does it close bullish or does it close bearish? Or is it like at the open? Some of you might know it as a doji, an indecision candle. So they're the four candles that there are. There's no other different variation to that. Does that make sense, guys? As long as you know that, you know there's no variation. So up range, down range, outside, inside. Cannot be anything different. So when I'm looking to trade a BPC, I'm looking for at least two up range candles. So that means from here, I want to see something like this. Then I want to see this. So I've seen two up range candles. Once there's two up range candles have been created, I'm looking for sellers to come in. I don't care if it's an up range, a down range, an outside, or an inside. I just want to see sellers in, meaning that price has opened and then is closed lower. That tells me that sellers are in. So that's my BPC setup. The next thing I then need to see is this next candle start to move up. If this one moves up and we have clear candle space here, which we should do because we've seen two, what you going to in the market? I'm not doing anything yet. There's no setup for me. I was trying to get short here, but it just went without me. So once this happens, I will then look for my sell setup, which is that sell candle here. Next candle to push up, we place a sell stop underneath the low, stops above the highs. So on that basis, what we've seen is we've seen the market do exactly the same thing that we talked about earlier, the bow and arrow effect. The market pulls back, then in order for it to go forward, we let go and the arrow projects forward. Does that make sense, guys? So that would be my BPC. That's what I'm looking for now here. And I don't care if it comes back to, let's say, the old support that is now going to act as new resistance. Because once you have a buyer candle followed by a seller candle, you have resistance formed. BPC is one of my setups. Breakout. So look, the market has, let me just get rid of these now. So, so if we think about it, the market has broken out of structure, so it's gone lower. Then we're looking for a pullback, the P. Then we're looking for a continuation, sellers. Breakout, pullback, continuation. Yours is a BPE, love it. What time frames you watch market and what time frame you jump into trades? So predominantly I'll trade UK session and I'll trade US Open. So um, from sort of like 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. UK time, I'm looking at the market, looking at the charts, and then I'll stop around 9 a.m. and then I'll come back again around 12:30, just before I do a live stream, and then finish around 2:30 if there's nothing there. Breakout, pullback, entry, love it. Time frames 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. Can you show us the wide angle chart? How do I do that? Give me a clue, guys. Scene layout. Oh, no. Uh, okay, not sure what's let's unlock scene. The scene will be fully customized after you unlock it. Once unlocked, it. Okay. Uh, sorry, let's put that down there. Sorry, I'm just. Here we go. Display capture. Add. 3. That's not worked. Where is it? Can you see a chart, guys? No? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what's happened. I did, let me just, couldn't delete camera source. Source is required. Okay, I think we're gonna have to go back to split view. Oh, shit. Uh, I've no idea what's happened. General. Scene orientation can't be changed when you're live recording. Well, that's screwed things up, guys. I don't know what. I just tried to. Okay, that's not worked. Split view. Ah, there we go. We're back. All right, guys. Apologies. Do what you're doing from the beginning if you can. Yeah, we're back. So apologies about that, guys. Now look, things that I'd look at right now is this area here. Now this is I've been trying to I've traded this market 3 times for sells today. Um, got stopped out here, and then I took one through here, and then this stopped me out literally just at break even after banking 40 pips. But if you go into my free Telegram channel, you'll see what I was looking for, which was effectively um, where this market's come back into this area. I'd highlighted that I'm expecting this kind of move to come back down and continue to move lower. So we'll see. Now we've got to wait for pullbacks, guys. We can't just jump into the market because hey Tusk, no worries. Don't worry about it, mate. It's something I'll have to. News impacted the drop, or rather, it could be a buy. Um, listen, and, look, one thing we have to remember, guys, is whether it's news that moved it or whether it's price, we can create a story afterwards. The fact that GDP was lower, that should be strong for gold, right? Because it should drop. It should drop dollar. Okay, unemployment was slightly better, not massively. So that's negative for gold if it's strong pound. So look, humans try and create a rhetoric or a story to fit what they've done. Meaning, if we want to buy gold or if we want to sell it because we have an opinion or something about the way the market moves, or we want to do that because of X, Y, and Z, we will then create a story to fit what we're seeing. Humans do it naturally. Oh, it didn't do this because of X, Y, Z. How do you know? We know that the market has gone down because of one thing. The only thing we know. The only thing we know. Why has the market gone down? And this is fact. What do we know? What do we know? There's one thing that happened for the market to go down, and it's a fact. There's one thing that we know. We don't know it's the news, we don't know anything, but there's one thing. What do we think, guys? Yeah, because there was more sellers than buyers. That's it. No. See, listen, even right, think about the war. Yeah, exactly, Fenton. More sellers than buyers. That's the only thing we know. Hello, buy or sell gold. For me, I'm not doing anything just yet. I've got to wait. Um, I was looking for sells when it broke through this price point here at 33.27.8. Here's something, right? Think about the war. What was going on between Israel and Iran? Israel did a big attack on Iran. Iran retaliate. Price gold starts to move up. It's the war. It's the war. It's the war. Then the US go and drop some bombs on nuclear ground, nuclear enrichment centers in Iran. Gold spikes on the open, stocks drop on the open on Sunday night. Where does gold finish on Monday? Lower. Where do stocks finish? Higher. How does that work? Next thing, do you do one-to-one coaching? Yeah, I do one-to-one coaching, but only with my members. So then you so you think that a slightly better than anyway, we're not going to go down that road. Um, so the only thing we know is sellers came in because of whatever we know sellers came in, but Then the news starts to create a rhetoric or a story that Iran have now retaliated against the US by attacking bases in Qatar, right? So, what would you expect to happen? What would you expect to happen? Chaza, if you go to the link in my bio, it's a stand store. You can go in there. You'll be able to see um, my membership offers at the minute. Thanks for asking, by the way. Um, what do you think should happen once you know that Iran has then just retaliated by attacking US bases? What do you think should happen? Should gold go up and should stocks drop, or should it go down? What do you think should happen? Just logically. What do you think should happen, guys? Yeah, gold should go up. But what happened? What happened? What actually happened? Do you know? Gold actually went down. Gold went down and stocks rallied to new all-time highs. Yeah. So then what happens? So this is how fundamentals work, right? Interesting. So what happens? A new story comes out. The story comes out is Iran's retaliation against the US was just to show the homeland that, meaning their homeland, um, that they are prepared to take on the US. But it wasn't really a retaliation. It wasn't a proper retaliation. So that's positive. So look, people will create a story and news will create outcomes. At the end of the day, the only thing you know is that more sellers came in than buyers at that period. And news, positive or negative, we don't know how the market's going to be. So every day when the market moves up or down, you can say it was because of the news, because you can. You can create a story for anything. Just focus on the price action. See what the price is telling you and trade it accordingly. It came to take liquidity levels, even yesterday's low. There you go. You're creating a story. Remember, gold can go down, it can go up. Just trade what you see. Where's support? Now, let's say let's say price was here. It's broken out, it's come down. There'll be so many different style of traders looking at this in so many different ways. So I'm not saying my way is the right way or the only way, but what I am is consistent. So so you have to be consistent in the way that you approach the market. And that's all you can do, right? Be consistent, get results, and from that point, then you'll be able to start measuring yourself based on success. And when you are trading, always make sure you trade at low lot size to start off with. Okay. Uh, yeah. What have we got in here, guys? So first and foremost, thanks for everyone jumping in today. I'm sorry we haven't had a trade, but look, it is what it is. We can't. Uh, yeah, that was this morning's. Uh, right. So if you were looking at the DAX now, the DAX, I would look for sells underneath here. So sell below 23,479. And I would look for sells below that, probably tomorrow. Um, Look at all this. Look at those candles. That is like free space, absolutely crystal clear. If you get below there, you've got what have we got? Let's have a look. 290 pips of clear range to trade into. Doesn't mean you're going to get it all. If I can get 20 pips, I'm happy. If I can get 40 pips, I'm very happy. What's a flip entry? So a flip entry, I only trade in strong trends. So let's say you've seen something like this. Let me see if I can find one here. No bottom wick, no top wick. Okay, the principle would be like this. So the principle for a flip entry, you've got strong market movement. So in this case, the market's moving down quite strong. Okay, I need to see at least 20 pips in a wick like that. So you can see that wick here. In fact, let me just get rid of that. I need to see 20. Where is it? I need to see 20 pips in a wick like that. Then the next candle, I want it to go up. So I'm looking for the next candle to move higher. So you see this top wick that's formed here? The second that top wick is formed, I'm going to place a sell stop underneath the low of that candle. I'm not placing anything, so this would be a sell if I was doing it. This is a flip. So initially, this is looking like a bullish candle, but I'm looking for the market to fill this wick here, fill this wick. So it's bullish, and then as soon as it flips to bearish, that would trigger my sell stop, and then I would look to basically come out once that range has been filled. Does that make sense? So that's how I would trade my flip. Does that make sense, Fenton? I don't trade many of them. Um, they don't occur too often. Cool. That's what I'm looking for. Uh, do, 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 do. Okay, I don't think I'm going to see any setups right now. So first, I'm going to be done for today, guys. I'm going to wrap up today. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock UK time. See if we can find one setup maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up now, guys. So first, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's come. Those that were interested in looking at the membership and joining my members community, yeah, you can do that by when you go to my profile, just click on the stand store below, and you'll see the free and paid for options. Sweetie Pie, thank you. Ricky, thank you. Tina, thank you. Leonard, thanks for joining. Uh, cheers, Fenton. Take care, bud. Pleasure, pleasure. Thank you. Everyone, catch you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday night, and I'll see you for Friday. Maybe even do a live stream tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Um, so if you're around, check TikTok at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow on YouTube. Might do a live stream. Um, drop me a DM if you want a live stream tomorrow. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.